Welcome back to Being Addie Green. I am Addie Green, and I'm going to be giving you my 16-week pregnancy update today. So I am 16 weeks and 2 days today. And I have a paper right here because I have some notes written down on it so that I don't forget anything. I am new to vlogging, so it's kind of hard to remember everything and remember to look at the camera and so on and so forth. So if you're wondering like what I'm looking down at, or I might even pick it up and read it, but it's just a paper of my notes so that I can cover basically everything that I want to say in this video. So I'm going to start with how I'm feeling, and you guys, I am feeling great. Like, the crazy thing is, if it weren't for like the little bit of movement that I feel, and I'll talk about that in a minute, I wouldn't even really realize that I'm pregnant. It's kind of like at that stage right now. So but I feel really good. My energy is up and normal, and I'm my usual peppy, goofy self. I do get a little bit tired toward the end of the day though, but for the most part, like, my energy is back, because way back in the early weeks I was like tore the hell up, like, real talk. So I am starting to feel a little bit of movement. The other day I was leaning over my couch, and it was kind of like flutters, but like a little like vibration almost of flutters, and I'm like, like, that probably has to be the baby. Like, I just couldn't even see what else the sensation could have been. This is my 4th pregnancy, so I'm a little bit familiar with what it feels like, but I mean, those beginning stages, sometimes it's always kind of hard to tell, but I definitely think that I've been feeling some movement. So what I will start doing is in the evenings, or when I have time to kind of sit down and pop my feet up, I'll drink some juice or drink some cold water and kind of just like lay back and see if I can get baby to move and see if I can feel it. Because 2 weeks ago I had a gender ultrasound done, so yes, I am aware of the gender. I do kind of want to wait till my 20-week scan just to make sure that nothing has changed or showed up or disappeared, but for the most part I think we're pretty sure what the gender is. But during that ultrasound, baby was in there moving all around, like little jitterbug all over the place, and I'm just laying there laughing because I'm like, I can't feel like any bit of it. So I'm happy to think that I'm feeling something anyway so far. And it's always reassuring when you start to feel your baby move, because then it makes your pregnancy real, you know, because like I said, I'm feeling so much better that if it weren't for those little flutters here and there, it's kind of like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. And my ever expanding waistline, let's put it that way. So I am at a point where, so I'm able to eat food again. There was a while back when I was just like, wasn't really feeling it, wasn't really hungry, and you know, I am not too concerned nutritionally as far as, you know, am I getting enough nutrients for the baby and so on. A lot of women in their first trimesters sometimes are completely turned off to food, and I've never, when I was pregnant with my daughter back in 2008, I lost 17 pounds in my first trimester. I couldn't keep a thing down. Like, and it wasn't even that I wasn't eating, I couldn't keep it down. And my doctors never really seemed too concerned, and I gained the normal weight that I should have between the 2nd and 3rd trimester, and once I was able to start eating again, I think I made up for the lack. So I am able to eat food. What I find is that if I eat a big meal, I start to feel sick. But if I eat smaller meals and kind of pace myself, then it's not as bad. So that's one thing I've been doing, is just trying to take my meals down a notch, a little bit smaller and maybe more frequently throughout the day, as opposed to trying to eat one big meal and then when I'm done, like, I feel nauseous and I feel like crap. So one thing I have been dealing with, I feel like it's starting to clear up a little bit now, but I was having some really, really bad jawline acne, hormonal acne. And I've pretty much struggled with acne my whole life, as long as I can remember. I think I started breaking out when I was in the 6th grade, which made me, 12 or 13 years old, maybe even 11 years old. And it's just always been. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. One thing I think that I like about being pregnant is the prenatal vitamins and just all the water that I drink and stuff. Like, usually when that glow starts to come in the 2nd trimester, I do notice that my face does clear up pretty good on its own. But in the beginning of this one, I was like, OM freaking G. Like, I don't even want to walk out of the house. Like, this is ridiculous. And I don't or didn't want to put makeup on because I didn't want to put makeup over the breakouts because that was just going to make it worse. So it was just a really tough time as far as dealing with some of that. So I'm still having some, and unfortunately for me, like, these kind are not just like whiteheads or simple blackheads. They're big cystic acne bumps all around my jawline. So what I am noticing is that what was right in here, like along my cheeks, is kind of starting to clear up now. And some of the jawline acne is starting to clear up a little bit. So I basically switched over my facial cleanser. I was just using Noxzema, and then I used to use just a Dove White Bar because it used to work really well for me. But what I noticed is that it really started drying my skin out, and not in a good way. So I just switched to the Cetaphil Gentle Cleanser, and I've been using that. And then I have Biore astringent that I use after the fact. I love the way it makes my skin tingle. And then I use a prescription grade benzoyl peroxide that I get from like my local Kaiser. So I think it's been working as far as for like whiteheads and blackheads and like regular breakouts, but this hormonal stuff, I really hope that my hormones like level out and do something really fast, because like I'm so sick of looking at it. But hopefully it goes away. I have been drinking lots of water, tons and tons and tons of water, and this is just a preventative measure of my own, just to make sure that I am producing enough amniotic fluid, since that's all the baby's urine. So, and plus I just like water, and I think I don't want to be drinking a bunch of like sugary drinks and sodas and stuff like that during this pregnancy, because I don't want to gain a whole lot of weight, more than what I need to support the pregnancy. Cravings, I haven't really had a whole lot of cravings. I think if I can even say this is a craving, I've been wanting like spicy stuff, and I've been stuck on like some jalapenos though for like the last 2 weeks. So all I want is to make like homemade fried jalapenos, and my daughter had her birthday party last weekend, and we had a nacho bar. And I'm like loading up my chips with jalapenos, like just super good. So I guess if that's any craving I'm having, I'm like super stuck on some spicy jalapenos. So I've basically just been taking prenatal vitamins, and I also have been taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. And what I just found out just by doing some research online was that in hoping to prevent premature rupture of membranes, it's best to take the 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C 2 times a day. So I've only been taking it once a day, so I will up that to twice a day, and then it is something that I will discuss with my doctor when I go next week. And so other than that, I've just been looking up ways and preventative measures for not going through what we went through before with my pregnancy with my son. And so a couple of things that I have found are taking antibiotics to help prevent premature rupture of membranes, getting the P17 progesterone or McKenna shots weekly, to help prevent premature rupture of membranes, vaginal cultures or swabbing, which basically tests for infection. And I think that's definitely something that I want to bring up and discuss with my doctor, because I think in the beginning of my last pregnancy, I did have BV, as well as I seemed like I kept on getting yeast infections last time. And I'm sorry if that's like TMI, but like I really want this whole vlog experience to be like real. So if it's TMI, sorry, but it seems like they wouldn't stop coming. So I don't know if that played any part in why my water broke early, but I definitely want to make sure that I'm not dealing with any infections. I haven't been taking, and I will not take any baths. And that's something that I was told last time too, once I went into the hospital. Nothing in the vagina. Very minimal internal scans, minimal checks, because all of that can lead to infection, especially if anything is open. So I am interested in hearing if anybody has ever used any of those preventative measures for stopping a premature birth or maybe a pre-rupture of membranes. So far on a lot of the forums that I've been reading, they're kind of up and down. Some doctors recommend these things to their patients. Some doctors are like, no, none of them work. My biggest thing is this: if it's no risk to me and baby, if the risk is very, very minimal, I would rather do anything that is available to at least know that I did everything that I could. I did my part on trying to help keep this baby inside and go to term. I would feel completely and utterly horrible if these interventions are out there and if other people feel like they've worked for them and I just completely don't even have the option to try any of them and something happens. I mean, I would feel like a big ass pile of shit. So I definitely will be discussing these options with my doctor, and again, if my doctor is not on board, I will be switching around for a second opinion. Other than that, that's pretty much it so far for week 16, but I'm feeling really good, and thinking I'm feeling the baby move, so hopefully that'll just keep on getting better. I'm going to show you the belly and cut this thing short. So this is 16 weeks, and hopefully you can see me. So this is 16 weeks with my shirt down. So a little bit starting to pudge out here. It's starting to get real puffy right in here. And what I can feel a lot of times when I lay down at night, if I lay on my back, especially if my bladder is full, you can actually feel like the top of the uterus like sticking up. So it's somewhere between my belly button and my pubic bone. It's about halfway up right now, so not quite to the belly button yet. I'll go the other side. And from the front. So still squishy, not hard yet at all. But I wasn't exactly had like the flattest stomach after 3 kids either, so, but it definitely was flatter than this. Like even if I try to suck it in now, like I still feel like I've got somewhat of a pooch. So I'll go the other side. I feel like my belly button is already starting to, usually it gets flat, but already at the top, like it's starting to kind of poke out a little bit. So, you know, that's kind of gross, but. So this is my 16-week update. I thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave any comments down in the comment section if you have any questions or just want to chat or have any stories to share about any experiences of your own with anything that I might be dealing with. I'd love to hear from you. I'm here to chat with you, so I will respond. And if you're interested in following this pregnancy as well as anything else that I've got going on, please feel free to subscribe right down there. And I will see you guys next week on my 17-week update. So I thank you guys for watching, and have a fantastic week. Bye.